Good morning, good morning. Hey, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. I'm an American who has been living in Bangkok for 30 years. I'm coming up on half my life. I can't believe it. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate anyone who comes in here to watch. Thank you very much. Today we're going to be diving into something that I see quite a bit, and that is expats who are doing it all wrong. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm sure that you have an idea about what I'm talking about, but imagine, this somewhat parallels it a little bit, but imagine you're Christopher Walken. I don't remember the name of the movie. But he says, "You're talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. Do it again and I'll in the face with a soldering iron." Well, there are foreigners that live here who they're just doing everything all wrong. They don't want to integrate. They don't want to get to know the Thai culture. The only thing that maybe they want to do is party in the bars or hang out by Nana or down in Pattaya. That's really all they want to do. They're doing it all wrong. So, the thing is that to me, what it's all about is working towards self-sufficiency. Are you self-sufficient in Thailand? If your girlfriend or your wife or your love interest, whatever she may be, if she's not with you, can you sustain yourself here and be very competent in doing things yourself? I just thought about this a little bit because I am very competent and capable of taking care of myself here without my wife. I get better prices than she does sometimes. She's amazed. She'll come, "You got it for 20 baht? I paid 25. I go, all I did was say, "Is 20 baht all right?" But I don't need her to go to the store and buy things for me. I don't need her to go looking for something, no matter what it may be. I think some of the expats are only using the superficial aspects of Thailand. That's all they're learning. And if you're going to move here and live here, this is for the people who want to be expats. You might as well learn how the locals live. And that way you can pick and choose how you want to integrate into society here. So in order to know how you might want to integrate here, I think it's best if you decide to understand the culture. Does anybody else have a problem with the audio? I'm just curious. I find it extremely odd that there's a problem with the audio. Because today I took off the muffler because I don't really need it because it's not up against my mouth. This is what I took off. I took this off today, this big old thing here. I don't need it. So I don't know, what your problem is with the audio, but if it's a problem, it's probably, maybe you turn it up or maybe you refresh the browser. I don't really know. But I'm sorry if you have a problem with it. Because it is what it is. It's the same microphone I've been using for, a month now. The one that I've had in the past. I'm not using the wireless mic. And it should be fine. Okay. As I said, in order to know what to pick and choose out of the culture, you need to know the culture. You need to learn about it. You need to learn how to do things. I heard a guy the other day say, "Oh, when you cross the road, you're supposed to why." Say what? No, you don't have to why. You why if the person stops for you and they don't really have to. You can why, but you don't have to. I heard you're not supposed to haggle with people. That women don't like it when you haggle. Rubbish. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. You need to know where you can haggle and where you cannot haggle. If I go into the grocery store, they're not going to lower the price for me. If I go down and buy some bananas, the price is on the bananas. The girl is not going to go from 50 baht to 40 baht. She's just not going to. Usually the prices are what they are because they cost a certain amount on the market. These people mark it up, and that's what they know how much to mark it up, and boom, that's what they do. But there are places where you can haggle. It's simple. And if you think that you're not supposed to haggle in Thailand, what I would say is you need to pick and choose where you haggle, because sometimes you look like a cheapskate if you're doing that. But in some places, you know. Like I know when I go to get my phone worked on, I get the film put on my phone. I know the price of the film is cheap, even if it's Focus or whatever the brand may be. The price is relatively inexpensive. Now, I'm not saying you go from 500 baht and you go, okay, I'll give you 100. No, that's not. There is something known as the proper etiquette in negotiating. You can start out at 50, 60%, go up to 80%, whatever. And then you just choose if you want to pay or not. But it depends. Like when I go for the film to be put on my phone, I know it cost about 250 baht. Now, I saw the other day, the girl sold the guy the exact same thing as me, and she sold it to him for 350 baht. And I looked at her after he left, and I went, you sold that guy the film for 350 baht. She goes, you know, they're going to get what they get. Now, she gives it to me for 250. Why am I getting a better price? Oh, she loves me so much? No. She knows I know the game. You know. And the thing is I have two places I go to. One place used to try to get me. They try to get me when it comes to how much they charge me. But I know that if they're telling me 400 baht, they'll give it to me. They might give it to me for 250. Or maybe they'll give it to me for 300. But I know that they're going to discount it. And they don't mind one bit. It's part of the game. So anytime somebody tells you not to negotiate in Thailand, tell them they're full of shit. Because they are. Now, again, when you go into a taxi, the meter says 79 baht, you give them 80 baht or whatever. If you got 79, you give them 79. But you don't go, okay, I give you 50 baht. You don't do that. It's improper. Okay? All right, listen. What is this here? What's this guy saying here? I think it's amusing when guys, why bar girl? I don't have the heart to tell them. Haggle with tuk-tuk drivers. I don't take tuk-tuk, Jim. I don't take tuk-tuks. Because almost all of them, I've seen some in Chiang Mai that are decent. I've dealt with some there. But nowadays, like in Bangkok, I never take a tuk-tuk. Most of them, all they want to do is, you know, the taxi is 200 baht, they're going to go 400 baht, and you go 300, and sometimes they'll say yes, sometimes they won't. But I don't want to pay more than I have to. Can't you get a motorcycle? Then what you do, this is where your wife comes in. You have your wife go take a trip that you're going to take, and you find out what that price is. Then you go to the guy, he says 200 baht, and you go, no, 150. And he goes, all right, you got a cheaper price than she did. That's what you do. But my point is, you don't need your wife most of the time. You can figure things out for yourself. You can ask Thai people, hey, how much is it to go from here to here by motorbike? Do you know? And some of them will go, oh yeah, I go there all the time. It's 30 baht. And then the guy tells you, oh, it's 50 baht. You go, come on, man. Listen, at my house, I take, and my family takes motorbikes. We take them, pretty much all the time, especially me. Well, your girlfriend, whatever it is, somebody you trust that's Thai, that knows, or learn yourself. It's not really all that difficult. Yeah, that's what I mean. You get better price than the wife. There's a reason for that. Give me 1 second here. All right, let me go on here. I just wanted to say the exchange rate, 34.52 right now. Very nice. I like it. Air quality 122. Not so good. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm always looking for. Places to go where there's very few foreigners, like very, very few. That's why I don't like Pattaya. I don't really like going there. Phuket. It's crazy. There's tons of foreigners in these places. Even Chiang Mai. I mean, come on. Chiang Mai, you want to go where there are not many foreigners, so you need to go out a ways. But the temperature right now, 73 degrees is the low. Rather, 73 degrees is the current temperature, 89 degrees is the high, 69 is the low, 78 is the feel-like temperature. Humidity, 64%, and it is partly cloudy. Yesterday's video was a must-watch for the newbie. I think it's a must-watch for people who sometimes don't always make the best decisions. Temperature in the 50s. That's nice. I like it when it's nice and cool here. But yeah, the yesterday's video and actually the stream the day before are both, I thought they were very good. And I think it's the kind of thing where, like, you need to learn these things. It's not rocket science. And let me tell you something. I always, when I was younger and had hair and I was young and fit, I always had women. I don't mean I had, 10 women knocking on my door or anything like that, but I was always working on 1 or 2 or 3 of them. And then maybe I'd have a girlfriend, and then, we'd go out for 6 months or a year or whatever it was, 2 months. We'd break up, and then I'd move on to the next one, Always. Then when I came to Thailand, I was like, son of a bitch, this place is a gold mine. It's like taking candy from a baby. However, you got to be able to say no, and you got to know that part of the game is you not engaging with them when it comes to the game that they're playing. Oh, you give me 3,000 baht, but you only give me 500 baht tip. Yeah, but you told me 2,000, and I gave you 3,000. I gave you an extra 1,000, honey. If you're going to do that, if you're going to play the game with the girls who are on the game. If they're not on the game, I mean, you want to help a person out a little bit, but you don't want to be a patsy. There's no reason in hell that you go out with a girl and you think you're dating her and everything is great, and she's going, okay, well, I need my 5,000 baht. There's no room for that. And people who do that are just, to me, they're stupid. If you can't get a girl without paying, here's the thing. You want to pay, you pay, and they leave. You have your fun, whatever kind of fun it might be, and they leave. You don't want a girlfriend, then you get women that want to come over, they want to have a good time, and they understand. When you say, okay, bye-bye, time to go, they understand they're going to leave. That's all. You don't want any hassles, that's the thing. Unbelievable. Listen, I have a little bit of news. I said that my wife was going down south, back to our house down there, to buy some land. She has bought the land. We thought it was about one rye, which is like 0.4 acres. It was actually 1.5 rye. Okay, so this brings the total area that we have down there to about 6 rye. So that's 2.4 acres. What this means is we can plant more durian trees than we expected. We thought maybe we could plant 25 or 30. We might be able to plant 37, maybe 40, not sure. So that's good news for us. And then if you buy some trees and you buy trees that are like a year old, and then you plant them, and then they grow for 3 years, they start harvesting, you harvest the fruit. But then like a year in, if you have enough land, what you can do is you can stagger it and buy, like, maybe after 2 years, you buy some more trees and you put in more trees. And then a year after the first one is harvesting fruit, that one will harvest fruit. So now you have 2 sets that are being harvested, and you just make that much more money, hopefully. So that's what we plan on doing. So I'm excited about it, and hopefully in the next couple of months we're both gonna go down there. We're gonna get the land cleared and get it ready to plant the trees, and then we'll buy the trees. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it might take a couple of months. So I'm excited about that, and I do plan on filming it. So you know, listen. One other thing before I get started here, I got a little comment on the scam video, not the stream, but the video, a 45K scam. And the guy says, someone this dumb would have lost his money one way or another. It's 2025, not 1995, with sick buffalo stories. Now, I agree with the guy. I mean, it is 2025. Yes, you would think that men are smarter these days. But, you know, the bottom line is they're not. It doesn't matter if it's a sick buffalo story, if it's, oh, now, you know, I'm a good girl, you help me start my business, give me money for my pig farm, yes, I only need, you know, $800,000 for the wood for my house. All of these are still at play. Guys are still being taken advantage of. And, you know, the only thing you can do is just be smart. Some men remain stupid. They don't want to be smart. They want what they want, which is, this girl is everything I've ever wanted. But she doesn't care about you the same way you care about her. So, you know what I always say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, you know, men can go to the women, but they're going to do what they do. That's exactly what they do. They're just, oh, she's my dream girl. She's different. She's so beautiful. She might be, and then you're lucky. But don't put yourself in a predicament where they're going, okay, I need 50,000 baht this month, and next month I need 70,000 baht, blah, 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 blah. No. You know, so it's ridiculous. If he stopped at 25,000, he would have got a, he could have got 2,500 plus the earlier amount. Yeah, that's why I said it's like gambling. You know, you gamble 100 and you win 150. Then you gamble the 150 and you win, maybe you win 300. Then you gamble all that and you win more. Okay, it's time to go now. Because I started with 100, now I got 800. I did that once. I didn't do it quite a bit more in my past when I would go to Vegas. I remember going to Vegas one time and I was on the border. You know, what do they call it? The state line. Some shitty little place, and I went in and I started playing blackjack and I won like $700. And I was like, man, I could sit here and I don't have to go back. I could stay here as long as I want to and just gamble away. And maybe I'll get it up to 2,000, and then maybe I'll get it up to 5,000. But I was smart that time. I said, no, this is enough. It's time to go. I can go back and go. I came back from Vegas with more money than when I started. Good morning, Jim. All right. So, expats are doing it all wrong. I know that being an expat here comes with their many unique experiences, and people make mistakes, and there's plenty of missteps that sometimes make your time here less than enjoyable. It's up and down. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, sometimes you understand and you're like, okay, I got a handle on it, and sometimes you don't. But we're going to break down some of the mistakes that expats make here, and I think you want to be here for the next half hour, 45 minutes. Let me just give one little example, and I've already kind of alluded to it. You go to the market with your wife to buy something. Let's say it's shrimp or crab or whatever the hell it is. But you're one of these guys who you just go, oh yeah, she'll take care of it. She's got the money. She handles your money. You know, unless you're talking about a couple of $100. Why is she handling? You gave her your 20,000 baht and you trust her with it, so you're giving her the money. You're not married to her. She's your girlfriend or whatever. Why are you doing that? You don't need to do that. You're the man with the gold. You make the rules. Anyway, your wife buys everything, or your girlfriend, whatever it is, your girl of the week. And sometimes there are instances when it's smart to let your wife help you or whatever it may be. Because when you come to Thailand first, whether you're an expat or a tourist, a lot of the girls know, oh, well, you know, this is his first time in Thailand, his second time in Thailand. He doesn't really know about Thailand. I will teach him. That's what they think. They think you think you're smart because you know what you know in your country, but you come here and it's not done that way. But many times, you let her do something for you out of laziness. I mean, you're letting her make all the purchases because you don't want to deal with it. Maybe your Thai isn't good enough. Maybe you think, oh, I'm going to have to negotiate for this, and you don't want to. Or you're just lazy. And this is just a little minor thing, but it is something that really, and that's why I say, you need to know a little bit of the language, all right? But let's just go, you know, into this a little bit more. Are you just existing here, or are you living? Are you truly living? I mean, I've always, with the exception of a couple of times when I was like, what am I going to do? I'm out of money. And this has been a long time now. It's been a long time ago. Even when I lost my job, working in boxing, once everything went to shit, I was still doing all right. I still was living. I didn't just sit around and go, what am I going to do today? I got no money. I can't go anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know. And for the people who think Thailand is paradise. Yeah, exactly. Thriving. You need to be doing well. Listen, I mean, I think to myself, hey, I'm just an ordinary guy. It's not like I'm, some actor and I've got millions of dollars, $200 million sitting in the bank. I'm not like one of those guys. I'm just an average, ordinary Joe. And I think to myself, my life is pretty good. I try not to expect too much. I mean, if I want to go out and buy a suit, walk around in a suit, act like I'm a big shot, I can do it. It's no problem. I used to do it. Pretty much whatever I want to do, I can do it. So in that way, that's a great thing. But some of the people just kind of miss the mark completely, and that's a little bit sad. But one thing that they do is, and I know a lot of people who do this, they stick to expat heavy areas. They never go out of their comfort zones. And one person I'll say that does that, I'm sorry, but he's living his way, and that is Jono. He very rarely, and also Billy, they very rarely go out of their little neighborhood, which is kind of a mix between Thais and Westerners. But they're not going to small cities and going to venture out and check out tourist attractions. They just don't want to do that. That's on them. They don't have to do that. But to me, why did you come all the way to Thailand if you just want to live like a Westerner? I mean, why not pick the best from this society, the great things that you love about Thailand, and the best from the West, and just mix them and live like that? So I'll always be an American in Bangkok. But I do a lot of things that hold me in good stead with Thai society. I know certain ways to be around Thais. I know how to act. Why not learn these things? Okay? Basically, if you're just living in one place and you never go anywhere, I mean, I know Jono could go some places like Pattaya or something like that. I know he could do it. No problem. But I mean, if you sent him out to the middle of some farm somewhere, I don't think he would know what the hell to do. Although he was married to a Thai, so he used to do that a long time ago. So I don't think that's really true with him. Billy has been with me to a few places, in like Myanmar and Cambodia. He gets by, but there are some people. I had a friend that I haven't heard from him in years now, but he used to think that he was God's gift to women, and I wrote about him in my book, which you can get on Amazon. They call me Farang. I wrote about him because he thought he was hot shit. We're walking down the street, I go, dude, the only reason that you're with this chick is because you're paying her. If you weren't paying her, she wouldn't be with you. Oh, you're not like God's gift to women. He's like, are you saying I'm not handsome? I said, yes, you're not handsome. Oh, but they think I'm handsome. I go, oh my God. Okay, dude, if you say so. He doesn't live here anymore. I don't know where he's living. I think he married some Filipino or something like that. But he used to stay over in the Nana area. And I would say to him, where are you going? You going anywhere? Well, what do you mean? I'm like, did you get out of Nana? No, he didn't get out of Nana. He stayed at Nana for the entire trip. He might be here for a month. And he would just stay at Nana. I never could believe it. I'm like, why don't you go somewhere? Why don't you do something? I am. What are you talking about? I go out to the bar at night. Anyway, something else here. If you think because you're getting by on next to nothing, that you're getting by on the bare minimum, that you're kind of winning, you're beating the system here, you're existing off of $500 to $1,000 a month, and you're really doing well here. You're not. Wake the fuck up. You're just existing. I mean, if somebody didn't have to pay rent for whatever reason, you own the place already, and you only had $1,000 a month, you could live. But would you really be thriving, or would you just be existing? For the most part, you would be existing, that's it. And $500 a month, forget about it. I mean, a lot of Thais make more than that now. Thais make more money than you think. They're not just living off of 10, 15,000. I mean, there are some, but they're lower down on the totem pole. They're younger. They haven't, worked their way up. Now, we know that some expats don't really care about learning the culture. That's a mistake. Thailand is not just about beaches and cheap beer. I mean, yeah, that's the icing on the cake. That's why when I used to come here originally, I used to say, well, the women, that is icing on the cake. You have some girl with you that she's good looking girl, nice body. You're like, wow, we get along. Okay. She's icing on the cake. She's not the cake. And I never could understand why guys are like, oh my God, I found my dream girl. You've been here for a week, buddy. Come to me after 2 years of going back and forth and you're still with her. And then I'll believe you. All right, let me see here. Not existing, not living. Thriving, yes. Very, very good. Hey, do me a favor. I haven't said this yet. Smash the like button. Hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Look down below in the description. It's got everything down there. The super chats. Super chat, super chat, super thanks. All that's down in the description. Buy me a coffee, all that good stuff. It's all down there. As well as, you can use the Cash App. There's a link down there. I don't make money from it, but I think if we get 3 people that join Wise and they spend over like $200 or something like that, then I make $50. But I don't remember if that's what it is exactly. And then I have also all the people that help support the channel. They're down. They are listed down. I just realized I didn't have all of the people in there. I've been putting up a partial list. So the full list is down there now, as well as my social media. So there it is there. Let's go on here. Let's see here. Okay, here's another thing. Comparing Thailand to your home country. If you're living here, it's nice that you can do that. In the beginning, you'd go, oh, wow, this would have cost me $3,000. Here, it's only $1,000. Okay, that's nice. But after a while, listen, you live here, you're not dealing in dollars. I mean, I guess maybe if you get paid in dollars and you bring it over, yeah, okay. But for the most part, you are dealing in baht. All I care about at the grocery store is how many baht am I spending. I don't care how many dollars I'm spending. So, and the other thing is, you don't want to complain about how things are done here. Oh, well, back in my country, they do it this way. Okay, that's nice. So, would you like the whole culture to change for you? I mean, we're going to change everything here just so that you're happy. It's not going to happen, so what are you complaining about? Personally, I look at taxis here and I go, they're very, very reasonable. We're due for a raise. These taxi drivers, they're going to get a raise pretty soon. I have a feeling in a year or two, they're going to ask for more money. And you know what? It's okay. Because what people pay them is peanuts. So I understand it. Now, I'll give you an example. Today, I give the guy 100 baht. I had 20 baht, but that's not enough to get over here. So I gave him the 100 baht. And he says, I don't have change. And he gave me 60 baht. I go, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. He goes, no. And I go, no, it's okay. You can have the 40 baht. It's all right. Nope. Motorcycle's going by. He goes, hey, you have change. He goes, here. He gave me 10 baht. He goes, for you, 30 baht. I go, what am I going to do? You know, I tried to give him 40. It's only 35, and he takes 30. Sometimes you can pay 30 baht to get over here. Sometimes it's 35. Most of the time it's 35. But I just thought, all right, cool. You know, whatever. Every once in a while, they'll be nice to you like that. They'll do things that, you know, I mean, it's only 5 baht, 10 baht, but still, I appreciate it. Just like if you give a tip, your fare is 35 baht, you give them 40 baht, you know, they grab it, okay, it's only 5 baht, but you appreciate it. Now, as far as everything else, like immersing yourself in the culture, I mean, I've said it many, many times, too many times now. Learn some Thai, even basic Thai, if you're going to live here. Even Dowlo. Look, I look at Dowlo, he comes over here 6 months. I don't know how much Thai he speaks, but he definitely needs to be able to speak some Thai. It makes your life easier here. It goes a long way in speaking with Thais. And you know, sometimes I don't feel like speaking to anybody. It has nothing to do with Thai, Westerner. Take out the word Thai. I don't want to speak to people. Some days I don't want to speak to anybody. I just want to stay at home, chill out, and you know, do what I'm doing. And maybe I bump into somebody and they're Thai and I start talking to them and we have a nice conversation. Maybe they're a Westerner and I have a nice conversation. That happens. But it doesn't really have anything to do with being Thai. You know, when you first come here, at least when you first come here, go to festivals. Go check out all the festivals. I checked out just about every single festival there is in Thailand. I've gone at least once. Visit the temples. I just said, I don't know how long ago it was. I guess it was on the 1st. On the 1st, I went to 2 temples with my wife. Now, I didn't necessarily want to go. I was kind of like, it's hot out, I'm gonna sweat my ass off, and, you know. But she was like, it's really important we go. And I just thought, okay, no problem. So we went to the temple. And I can't say I had a great time, but I didn't have a bad time. It was nice. It was nice being there. And afterwards, my son and I, Alex and I, we walked behind the temple and we went to where the boat pier is. And we took a boat to the Malbankabi. And then we walked in and we sat down and we had a coffee together. Well, he had a chocolate. So it's nice, you know. And that's the thing, you know, Thailand, it opens up to you when you try to understand it. So if you're one of these guys who just goes, I'm gonna stay around, no, I don't want to go anywhere. I mean, you know, the thing about Jono is he's been a lot of places. He's been places in Thailand. But some people, they don't want to go anywhere, you know. And the other thing is, if you're gonna go places, don't just go to the tourist traps. Don't just go to Pattaya, Phuket, Chiang Mai, Kanchanaburi. Don't do that because they're for tourists. Go to other places. Go to Old Portugal. Some people don't even know there's an Old Portugal in Bangkok. Go to the Green Lung. Go to Pilok. That's not, well, that's Kanchanaburi province. Go to Sangkhlaburi. You know, I was thinking about doing this. There's the Mon Festival is coming up. I don't know when it is. Let me see here. But the Mons have 2 festivals every year. Let me see here. Shit, you know, I need the freaking chat GPT for this. because this one doesn't tell me. Let's see here. I thought normally it's in February. It's saying it's in it's Songkran. But I don't think they can find it because usually, yes, you're correct. The month, so they give you incorrect information sometimes. Rituals and merit making at Wat Wang Wiwe Karam, which I've been to many times, and then there's the Mon Bridge, which if you've ever been there, it's a different kind of place. There are Burmese, there's Mon, there's Thai, and there's some Westerners, a few Westerners. Now, the way that you confirm the date, really, and if you're flying over here, you don't live here, is like I have a particular hotel that I use. I use 2 hotels there, but I call one of them up and I say, do you know when the Mon Festival is? And they'll go, oh, let me check. Or the last time the lady said, oh, I don't know, but call back tomorrow. The guy will be here. He can tell you when. And he told me when, and I ended up going. And what they have is bare knuckle boxing for 3 days. It's pretty cool. Among other things, food and all kinds of other stuff. It's great. Pretty much every province and person is historically influenced in the province. Each province has a festival in honor of these people. Yeah, I mean they're enjoyable. I've been to one in I was in one in Suratani. I don't know, maybe 3 years ago. Could have been 2, maybe it's 3. I don't know. And they had all kinds of floats. And I was like, I never heard about this festival. My wife's like, oh, they have it every year. Okay. And it was fun. We had food and we walked around and looked at the floats and everything like. But it's different than okay, where's the bar that has that's selling the Guinness and has all those chicks? It's much different to do it for that. I'm not saying you can't go look for chicks. I'm just saying you got to dedicate a little bit of your time to actually learning something about the culture. And you don't want to learn about it. Okay, fine. Then just come here and visit. Why do you live here? Why would you come here to live if you don't care about the culture? To me, it makes no sense. Good morning, Cyrus. Good morning. Let me see here. Yeah, okay. There's more to Thailand than Phuket, Pattaya, Chiang Mai, and Bangkok. There is more. You need to find a hobby. You need to have a business. You need to do something to give back to the community, kind of like Jim does. You need to have something meaningful to do. And the purpose is what keeps you motivated and connected wherever you are. And I'll tell you something, to be honest, sometimes I don't always feel like streaming or making a video or something like that. But, I had thought about stopping the streams or dropping them down to once a week or something like that. But then I think to myself, okay, so what else am I going to do? I'm going to take photographs? I'm not actively trying to sell my photos anymore. I've got my photos in a couple of galleries. If I make, I make every couple of months, I make $400 or $500, great, right? I'm not trying to go out, okay, I'm gonna make a book and I want it to be top notch and blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing that. Now, I could do it for fun, but sometimes I make videos, sometimes I make streams, and that keeps me busy. 9:44. Yes, indeed. So, you gotta have something to keep you busy. And I don't mean your girlfriend. At some point that'll dwindle off. The girlfriend's gonna wanna do her own thing, or the wife, whatever she is. She's gonna wanna do her own thing. She's gonna want her space. You're just gonna, go ahead. That's what I do. And it works. Let them do what they wanna do. Let's see. Now, the other thing is that you need to be smart about your money. I know this is basic shit. Be smart about your money. You need to balance affordability with a good quality of life. For me, what that means is I don't look for the most expensive thing. I don't look for the cheapest thing. I look for what is the best value, and then I think, can I afford that? Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. You know, you can afford a good life here with, really, I mean, if you're a single guy, $1,500, $2,000 a month, and you don't have any bills, you know, you're not mired in debt. You can have a great life here, and you can stash some cash. You can do well for yourself. Not $500, even $1,000. It's going to be tight. If you start talking about $2,000 a month, and you're single, great. Even if you got a girlfriend and she's bringing in, say, $15,000, together you can have a good life. And that's how a lot of Thai people are, and that's the thing. You kind of got to live a little bit like them. You know, embrace their way of life. It's not all bad. It's not, oh, Thai people are stupid. I don't want to do what they do. Oh, they do it the wrong way. No, they don't. They do it their way. Slow down, practice patience, and here's the thing. Adopt the Mipe and Rye attitude. Remember, you know, live in the moment. Remember that lesson. Remember the lesson of Mipe and Rye. That's so important. The more time I spend here, the more I say Mipe and Rye is like so important that you understand that concept and you live by that. You need to. I do a lot of DIY stuff and have built a little workshop. All my neighbors see this. A couple of days ago, I found a broken dining room chair sitting at my workshop. I don't know if that's good or bad. Everybody in the neighborhood's gonna go, Jim, will you fix this for me? And then you're like, okay, yeah. Next thing you know, you're gonna be working 80 hours a week. Yeah. I mean, you're a little different than me, Jim. I try not to get too entrenched. I mean, day before yesterday, it's 7 o'clock at night. The wife and the kids went out to go get a massage or something. Oh no, the wife wasn't back. It was the kids. They went out to go get a massage or something. I hear the doorbell. I say, oh, are they coming again for the garbage money? I'm like, no, it's way too early. I'm like, it can't be that person. So I go to the door. It's the son of the lady from across the street. He says, I've got this rice here. He said, this is great rice. No spray, no nothing. It's like just really high quality rice. He goes, my mother wanted me to give it to you. And I said, oh, wow. Thank you so much. Very nice. And we had some of that rice with beans. I made some black beans and the rice and some shrimp the other night. So here they are coming over bringing us stuff. And the lady who that we rent the house from does that. And the lady across the way that sells Quatillo does that. So we have like 3 people in our neighborhood who are constantly giving stuff, and we give stuff back to them. You know, my wife will get a whole bunch of fruit from down in the south, and she'll, it'll come in and she's got like 5 boxes of fruit. She'll give each one of them a box. So. Yes, very nice of you, Jim. Let's see here. Now, the other thing is I say that when people come to Thailand, when some people come to Thailand, they think, oh, it's my fantasy, it's a dream world. It's paradise. Listen, I hate to tell you this, but it's not paradise. So stop chasing that fantasy. No place is paradise. Just embrace Thailand for its wonderful aspects and for its flaws. And you know what I laugh about is that I see some guys they're very new on YouTube. And I stumble across them and I listen and I see in the comments, I always look at the comments. I don't really watch the videos much, but I look at the comments and I always see, oh, so many people in Thailand are talking up the good points, but they never talk about the bad things. And I'm like, okay, I guess maybe they are, but I think I'm pretty even keeled. I look at all sides and I think there are some great things about living here. There are some things that I wish could be changed. And there are some bad things here that people don't talk about, which I don't really want to talk about. But it isn't paradise, okay? So you gotta just adapt, thrive, and evolve. And that's the thing, if you're not growing, you're stagnant. And Thailand can change you for the better. Seriously. You know, I have an appointment. I just thought about this. The lady called me yesterday. I have an appointment in about 2 weeks at this place called Joke One Table. Now, I know about Joke One Table. I know about them from several years ago, but I also saw something on them on Netflix. And I thought, oh, okay, well, now it's not one table, I think it's 5. But you have to make a reservation. So I made a reservation. They said, how many people? I said, 1. Oh, just 1? Yes, just 1. So yesterday they called me up. They go, we forgot what time we're supposed to, what time you're going to come and what day. I don't know, I can't find the piece of paper that I wrote it down on. I said, okay, no problem. And I had a little laugh, and I'm going to go there. It's supposed to be a Michelin-starred restaurant, so, you know. And I don't want to go with anybody else, honestly. I want to experience it by myself, you know. And, you know, my wife will be busy. My kids will probably, you know, they don't want to come, so. But it's a place where I can go, and, you know, if I go there once or twice a year, I got a great place to go where they know me, they're nice to me, you know, everything's good. And that's what I want. That's what I want from here. Because, you know, this place has a lot to offer. Sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too, you have to go looking for it. Sometimes when you're new, everything is right there. I think Cyrus probably knows this. When you just come here in the first couple of years, you're like, this place is fantastic, man. Ah, it's so crazy. And I remember how I was when I first came here. I remember when I didn't even live here. I was going down, I think it's the Ping River, Ping, in like Chiang Rai. And there was like, I think 4 of us. And we were going to this little village where we could find some elephants, and they were gonna take us into the jungle, and we were gonna go stay somewhere in the opium fields. And I just thought to myself, this is such a fantastic experience. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm doing this. You know, but those things happen all the time. So, if you're somebody who's not getting what you should be getting out of Thailand, start doing some of these things. Get out of Bangkok. Get out of Phuket if you're living in Phuket. Phuket, you know, listen. Phuket is nice. It's nice as a tourist. But you know what? Once you've been there, I mean, you can go and see a lot of places there. Some of them are very beautiful, but you are going to be surrounded by Europeans, Americans, Brits. And you know, here in Thailand, everybody doesn't speak English. More people speak English now than ever before. And the younger generation tends to speak more English than in the past. But you need to learn some basic Thai. If you've been here 6 months or a year, you should be able to say, Sawadee Kap, Sawadee Mai Kap, Sawadee Mai, Bye Nai, Tamalai. You need to be able to speak some basic Thai. You don't have to, you know, get into deep conversations, but that will lead to you learning more Thai over the years if you're going to stay here. And you don't want to miss out on these opportunities. You don't want miscommunications. You don't want to feel isolated. Well, the way not to feel isolated is you're able to communicate with other people, not necessarily just Westerners. Because I'll tell you, I got a handful of Westerners that are my friends. I wouldn't call them real close. And they're my friends. But, you know, that's enough for me because I have enough friends that are close, Thai friends, Western friends that I'm close to, that I'm okay. I'm good. You know. Sometimes you just think that you can come over here from, say, the West or wherever you're from. You know, let's say Australia, New Zealand, England, Canada, America, and you think you're just going to drop your culture here and just live like you're an American or you're an Australian or whatever it is. And most of the time, this is just so untrue because you need to learn the customs here because they're not going to change for you. You got to change for them. Or you got to just, you know, try to weave your way through if you can. If it's something that you don't want to change or you can't change, then okay, but you got to find a way to get it done. Now, of course, money is always important here. And some expats, especially younger expats, they think they're going to fly over here and they, you know, listen, it ain't 30 years ago. You know, they think they got $800 a month for sure coming in. Oh, that's plenty of money. Listen, you go out one night, you spend 150 bucks. Some people will spend 100, 150 bucks. They go out partying. Forget about it. And if you're pulling a girl, if you're actually like into bars and you're spending money on that, who knows? You can spend 10,000 baht easy. So, you know, you need to have plenty of dough and don't come here on a shoestring. You can try to live on a shoestring if that's what you want to do, but make sure you got ample funds so that you can draw on them if you need them. And I mean, sometimes you underestimate the costs. I mean, healthcare, housing, and then just things that go along with being retired. And this can lead to, you know, some financial problems down the road, maybe as you get older. And what I'll say is, you don't want to live on a shoestring budget, man. You don't want to live on the next to nothing. Take another year or two and sock away more money and live on a little bit more. To me, that's the best way to do it. You know, and I've done it to where I've lived off of next to nothing, and I've done it where I've lived off of 200,000 a month. You know, and we're quite comfortable now. We're good. You know. But I think you need to remember that you don't want any problems. You want to make sure you always have enough money, whether it's just for an emergency fund or to pay your bills for 6 months or whatever it may be. You want to make sure you have that money before you come over here. You don't want to just count on earning enough money to where, oh, don't worry, I'm going to make $1,500 a month, and maybe you won't. Maybe it'll all go to shit. That kind of thing happens. I went overboard and spent almost 7,000 baht at a bar one night last week. It's not really all that much, honestly. Nowadays, you can spend $10,000, $15,000 baht, like, and it's not that. It's not out of the question. I used to spend. This is 30 years ago, 25 years ago. I used to spend 10,000 baht. I go out, I'd spend 10,000 baht. You know what I used to do. I mean, honestly, is I would have a bunch of money. I might have 20,000 baht in my pocket. And I'd go out to the bar. I'd drink a little a little beer. I have a little tequila. I've had to eat. And I'm doing okay. And then, things start getting a bit crazy. I start drinking a bit more. I start buying some drinks. And before you know it, if you pay a bar fine, if you do something like that, and you got to pay the girl for the night, if that's what you're doing, all of a sudden you're like, you had 20,000 baht in your pocket. Now you go, I only got 7,000 baht. That's all I got left. I spent 13,000 baht last night. Oh my God. I've done that before. Several times. Too many times to count. I often see Americans attempting to apply American culture and it becomes annoying. Yeah. I just let them find out for themselves that they can't. I don't give a shit if they want to try to do it themselves or not. It's on them, and it's on the Thais to deal with them. To me, it's like, I look at it as it's none of my business, and I'm not going to let myself get annoyed by it. I just look and just go, oh God. Then it's compounded when you see Europeans and others doing the same thing. Yeah, don't ring the bell. Don't ring the bell unless you've got, plenty of cash. I used to go into places with one of my buddies, and he used to, he'd carry 100,000 cash on him all the time. And he would buy like 10,000 baht in ping pong balls. And just sit there with buckets of ping pong balls, throwing them everywhere just to make the girls go crazy. He just loved that for some reason. Funny stuff, Let me see here. And like I said earlier, many expats, they want to stick in their own area. They stick to the same restaurants, the same social circles, and they isolate themselves. They never get to know anybody else. So the only thing they might say to somebody is thank you, and that's it. They don't talk to them. I don't know my neighbors real well, but I know them enough. I talk to them. Sometimes the lady will come outside with her daughter's kid, and she's teaching the kid to Y me and to wave to me, and I come over and I talk to them for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. You build a relationship up. And you can only do that really if you, first, either they speak English or you speak Thai. And second, if you're open to it, and you're committed to, like, to me, I'm like, what do I have to do that is so pressing? Now, if I make an appointment and I say, I got to be there at 12 o'clock, well, then I know, okay, well, it's going to take me an hour. You know what? I'm going to leave a half hour earlier than that, so that I'm sure I'm going to be on time. And other than that, or maybe a doctor's appointment, or they usually give you 15 minutes, but whatever, I'm not usually late. What do you have to do that you're so busy? If you're working, I understand. You have a job. Now, I try to always be on time for a stream. Sometimes I'm a couple minutes late, but if you're working, that's a different story. But if you're working here, there should be a reason. You got the job from abroad. You didn't come here and find a job and then, okay, that doesn't usually happen. I don't care if it's you're working in an office, you're working in a bar, you're managing a bar. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't usually happen. It usually happens where you're abroad, living in your country, and you get a job and it's all set up and then you come here. If you get a job while you're here, I kind of question whether it's legal, and if it is legal, then they're putting out a lot of money for you, so you better get the job done. Let's see here. Well, now, here's the other thing. And maybe sometimes I'm a little guilty of this, and that is you only want to eat Western food or frequent international chains, but I don't really do that. I would say I eat Thai about 35% of the time. My wife will make something and I'll eat it. Then later on in the day, I have some chicken or something, and it's just, chicken with mustard on it or something. I don't know, mustard, pepper, or whatever the hell it is. Now here's an example, and of course I am guilty of this. When it comes to the coffee shops, if you are spending $10 at Starbucks every day, and you're not really a coffee connoisseur, you're not somebody who really enjoys coffee, why don't you just go to Cafe Amazon for 35 baht, 40 baht, instead of paying 160 baht, or $10, which is 350 baht. Why do you do that? Well, I used to do it just because it was a good place to sit, and a lot of the places, even Cafe Amazon, they're not as comfortable as Starbucks or here. Now this place is cheaper, but it has good coffee. This place has excellent coffee, okay? Starbucks does not have excellent coffee. Cafe Amazon, the coffee is, it's like the coffee you would get at your job when everybody pitched in and you bought a bunch of coffee and then you drank some coffee every morning because there's a pot there. That's kind of what it's like. Now, if you're not doing something, like if you walk into a house and you just walk in with your shoes on, you don't respect the culture. Somebody walks into my house and they don't take their shoes off, I'm like, dude, take your shoes off, man. I don't want them walking around in my house mucking about, putting dirt everywhere. And the thing is acting like a tourist does not help you integrate. I'm going to use him as an example again, Billy. Sometimes he wants to integrate himself, but not very often. He's a tourist here, and he lives here. He has not yet reached the point where, he's trying to do everything he can to not live just as an American, which is what he does now. I don't know if he has a plan for long-term life here or not. Now, Jono, at least he's studying Thai, he's learning Thai, and he has a plan. He just plans to live here and live his days out here. He's going to learn Thai, he's learning Thai, and even though he doesn't travel much, that's okay because he's done his thing already. He doesn't want to travel that much anymore. So I think that's important also. You got to have a plan financially and also for what you want to, how you want to grow or just how you want to sustain yourself here. One thing that you can do if you're living here and you're new here, try every food. I mean, you may not like it, but then you don't like it. Now, like, will I eat somtam? Yes. Will I eat cow soy? Definitely. I love it. Somtam? Not so much. I gotta be in the mood for it. Cow kapi. I love that. I love kapi. It's shrimp paste. I love it. It's great. I'll do it because you know what? I've tried all these dishes. Maybe you go on a food tour. Maybe you go to a cooking class. And they help you to learn about the culture. Now, I've done both of these things. I've only done one cooking class, and it was great. Really good. And one food tour. I did one food tour. And I could have done the food tour. But it was good. Right? I mean, listen, if you want to learn how to speak Thai, and you don't want to spend any money at first, or you're back in England, or you're over in the U.S. or whatever, there are online tools, there's apps, there's language schools that they teach online, so it's accessible. It's a matter of, do you want to do it? Now, like for Jim, he volunteers some of his time or his energies towards whatever he's doing, and he gets to know the locals that way. That's a great thing to do. He's not just sitting around the house. I mean, you know, maybe somebody comes over once in a while and goes, hey, we got some food over here. You want to come over here and eat with us? It's nice. When you live in a village up country, it's different than when you live in a village in like Bangkok most of the time, almost all the time. My village is not like his village, I can tell you that. But there are some similarities, and, you know, get to know the people where you live. That's all. Stay in fairly good shape. That's another thing. I know many people that their idea of fun is every day they go to the bar, they sit on the bar stool, they drink beer. Maybe every once in a while they'll come home at 7 o'clock. Oh, I'm tired. Maybe sometimes they'll stay out really late. Maybe they'll, pull a girl or something. But that's their life. Their life is going to the bar, sitting there and chatting with people, having talks, drinking beer and all that other kind of stuff. They have all that kind of stuff that they're doing. And, yeah. So, let's see here. As far as the health goes, you can stay active. There's no reason why you can't. You can do Muay Thai. You can do yoga. You can lift weights. You can go hiking. There's so many things to do here. What's this here? I often find meals, fresh fruit hanging on my door provided by my neighbors. Yes, that's what I was saying. That we have the same thing, and we give out fruit and we give out stuff the same way to people in our neighborhood. Let me see something here. Oh. Now, when I say that you need to have this much money or whatever it is, listen, I stretch my money. That's how I look at it. I stretch it as much as I can. Sometimes I go, you know what, I'm going to spend 1,000 baht or 2,000 baht on fish. And it's because maybe for the last 3 days, I just say, I'm not going to the grocery. I'm not going to spend any money. Now I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy some fish. I'm going to buy some stuff that goes, and we're going to have a big feast. Maybe it's Sunday night or something. You don't have to, you can be frugal, but to stretch your money, but and budget your money, that's a must, in my opinion. And sometimes you buy stuff that you think is, maybe you're paying a little too much for it, and most of the time, you just pay for whatever the normal price is, and you just be smart about it. That's all you got to do. Some other tips, you want to stay cool. Your clothing choices are important, and you need to pick how you get around, how you're going from point A to point B. If you really want to stay cool, if it's a blazing hot day, and you go out and I'm going to go from my house to the boat. The boat's going to be packed full of people. It's really hot. I'm going to go from the boat. Then I have to go to the subway. From the subway, I'm going to go somewhere else. You're going to be hot. You're going with a couple of people, take a taxi. Spend a little more money and take a taxi and be cool. But you need to figure that out, because like for me, generally, the heat, although I bitch about it, I admit it, I bitch about the heat sometimes, because it is indeed brutal. Most of the time, it doesn't really faze me that much. And it's not that it doesn't matter, because it does matter. I don't want to be hot, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather be hot than be cold. Some of the other things that people, expats who come over here, they just don't do it. And one of them is they're just not prepared for the differences that they're gonna experience here. They're not used to what it is here, and they're just like, oh, this place is so different from me, and they're not ready for it. So you have to try to prepare yourself. Even Jono told me, he said, I thought I was prepared. I did everything I could, but I still wasn't prepared. And he told me, at one point he said, I don't like it. I walk down the street, they're always looking at me. I go, you know what? I don't even notice it anymore. I don't even notice if they're looking at me. And if they do look at you, you go, hey, what's going on? That's all you do. Hello, how are you? Swadika. Boom, you just keep going. Smile at them. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Some people don't manage their finances very well, and they find themselves in a heap of shit. They have unrealistic expectations. Oh, you can get a 5-course meal in Thailand for 50 baht. Okay. I don't have to spend that much money on food. Every month I can spend 3,000 baht. Well, you can if you want to eat once a day, and you want to eat Thai food from the market. And of course, learning a language, I've already said this so many times already. I'm used to the heat being from Tennessee, but it gets old. That's why I try to go to cooler locations on visa runs. Now, why are you on a visa run? Because if it's an actual visa run, they can get difficult. They can get stinky about it if they want. They can get stinky if you don't have a return ticket. They never have for me. The Japanese got bad with me about it, and I just told them, hey, listen, I got a retirement visa, man. Don't mess with me. And then they went and checked it out. Oh, sorry. Why not? How old are you? Keep yourself busy. There are things you can do. You can travel around. Like I said, you can go to like Pilo or Sangkhlaburi or Massot, or go down the Chao Phraya or Bungkan. That's a great place. You can go on the Mae Hong Son Loop. There's so many things to do. You can do whatever you want. I just don't want to travel as much as I used to. And over 3 million foreigners, at least, visit Thailand yearly, but less than 1% of them immerses themselves fully into the culture. That's what it is. They don't immerse themselves. And you don't have to immerse fully, but you need to get into it a little bit. Because it's for your own good. It's for your own benefit. I'm thinking of getting a language visa. I'm 36. Wow. Yeah, you're 36. I mean, you got a long way to go to a retirement visa. You can get an elite visa. Maybe you can get I don't know if you can get an LTR visa. I don't know. I don't even think about those things anymore. I often hear Westerners complaining about Thai drivers. While the fatality rate is high in general, once you understand the protocols, it isn't that big. Listen, Jim, I'm going to do the left side of my nose is stuffed up. I'm going to do a stream about the dangers of Thailand and its drivers, because it is still one of the most dangerous places on the planet to drive. It still is, and it used to be number one. And yes, the drivers are courteous, but to me, sometimes they're too damn courteous. Listen, you're driving straight. There's no light. You're driving straight. All the cars are driving straight. A couple of people will pull out right in front of you, and the drivers will stop and let them, and then the next thing you know, there's a whole line of people going by you. If you're not turning, if you're going straight, you should not have to stop. That is the rules of the road internationally. You just keep going. Because if they drive forward, boom, you hit them sideways. You don't have to You're not supposed to stop. People are like, no, you don't have to do that. But they do. And honestly, I would say that probably contributes a little bit to problems. But I think it's just the whole, I'm sorry to say this, but I think what it is you've got a lot of people coming to Bangkok that, they were working on the farm and all they drove is the buffalo, and then they come to, they come to Bangkok and they just can't drive. And then you have people who, they think they're great drivers and they're not. They speed around and, listen, I've been on motorcycles before where they're hauling ass and I'm like, dude, go slower. I'm telling them, go slower. There's no hurry. I'm not in a hurry. I used to ride on the backs of motorcycles in China all the time. It's way more dangerous here. I only take a motorbike if I really need to. Many of the fatalities are alcohol related. Jim, alcohol is almost always involved in accidents, but here in Thailand, I'm telling you, you may think they're polite, and okay, it's nice they're polite. They are still like in the top 5 of dangerous countries for people to drive in. It's the number of fatalities and the way that things work here, you got to be careful when you're driving. And like I've said many times before, everything's fine, everything's great until it isn't. Oh, they're having a little shindig, I guess, upstairs and downstairs. Yeah, thank you. Now, I don't know where Cambodia or Vietnam falls on the dangerous driving list. I need to look real quick. You know what? Let me see. Yeah, so what does that tell you? It's not just made up and everybody's, we're picking on Thailand. Let's see here. Thailand is number 6. It's according to a study from GPS Australia. Lebanon is number 1, Uruguay, Colombia, Costa Rica, Greece, then Thailand. Vietnam is 30.6 per 100,000, placing it among countries with high road fatalities. Wow. While specific rankings vary, road injuries in Cambodia are a significant concern, being the 6th leading cause of premature death in the country. Let's see. Okay, Vietnam is number 8. And Cambodia is in the top 20. So, there you go. Let's see here. Let me go on here. Now, my only question, after all of this, I don't know what kind of expat you are. I know, the expats that I know, most of them have integrated. There are some that I think they need to do more. They need to get it together a bit and kind of learn a little more about the culture. But, it takes time. I'll say that. You got to be, I personally am somewhat understanding. Because, you can't just come to the country and automatically you know everything and you know how things work and that's, I'm an expert here. No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. And I see this on YouTube all the time. Guy's been here a year, 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years. You don't know shit. You're only scratching the very tip of the onion, the first layer of the onion. Very few people have been here a couple of years and they really know the game. Most people, they live in Pattaya, they live in Bangkok, they live wherever, and that's their world. Okay, so what I want to know is, are you really thriving, living and thriving? You may not think you're existing, which you might be, but okay. But maybe you're just not really into getting any deeper into Thai culture. So where do you stand? And I'd like to know about that. You know, do you have a full life, a fulfilling life here in Thailand? Because I mean, I think about all the things that I've done since I've lived here and I go, I'm happy with what I've done. I've been in the public eye before. I've been in the sports field, you know. I've been in the photography world. I've done all kinds of things. So I think about it and I go, all right, I'm content. I'm happy. There's no problem. But what about you? Are you? Leave your thoughts in the comment. I would appreciate that. And if you maybe don't live here and you're thinking of coming here, what is it that you want so that your life will be fulfilling? Maybe you can leave that in the comments. I would appreciate that as well. I'm going to say it one more time. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, click the notification bell. Hit the thumbs up. That would be good. Look down in the description. You'll see that everything's in the description about the super thanks, the super chat, super thanks, buy me a coffee, Cash App, Patreon. Don't forget about Patreon. Personally, I like the Cash App the best, but okay. What else? There's all my social media. It's down in the description. Plus a little bit about what we're talking about today. There's stuff down there, so I'd appreciate that. So, I mean, it's great. We talk about this, but I'm just wondering, how many people here actually think they are in Thailand thriving and surviving? Those countries also have a greater percentage of two-wheel vehicles, which increases the probability of... Well, Jim, I think that all that really matters is it dangerous or not? You know? Is it dangerous for people or not? I'm not thriving, but I'm avoiding a 9 to 5 in America. Only been here 4 months. Oh, you're a baby, man. You're a baby, honestly. You're what's known as a newbie, for sure. I mean, you know, the bottom line is, whatever you want to rank Thailand or Vietnam or Cambodia or whatever, they're dangerous. They can be dangerous. And that is why, to be honest, I don't particularly like taking motorbikes, and I don't want my wife taking a motorbike. I come here to the mall by motorbike, and almost always things are smooth. They go really well. There's no problem. Now, if I'm going across town, that's a different story. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. And I have to think to myself, maybe it would be better for me to spend 100 baht more and not to rush, just to get there, and that would be good enough. Maybe. And I think probably that's the right call. You know. Well, I don't know, Jim. Where do you think you are? Are you thriving? I would say you're probably thriving by now. How long have you been here? What, 3 years? 4 years? I think you need to learn more of the language. But, you know, I'm living here and enjoying it. Want to learn more and make friends, either Thai or foreign. Well, I set you up with Jono, so that's everything's on you guys. Um, you know, so I help you make a friend. You know, whatever. Even if you just guys go out and have coffee every once in a while, even if you just join me and Billy and Jono every once in a while, that means it's fine. It's great. You know, I lived in China for 4 years. It's not a new experience for me to live in a new country. No, but Thailand is new. You are definitely a newbie. I hate to say it. Whether you lived in China or not. Bruce used to live in China. Bruce has been here for, I think, 5 years now. And he's starting to get the whole, you know, he's pretty much entrenched in it. I don't know how well he speaks Thai, because most foreigners, when you come here and you're older, they're lazier to learn to speak Thai. And I understand it, because it's kind of like, you know, if you, let's say you're 65 years old, 70 years old, you're like, well, shit, I don't know, how much am I going to be able to use this if I learn? It might take me 3 or 4 years to really learn it. By that time, I'll almost be dead. That's how some people think. Still learning the language. Okay, 3 years. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, all these things factor in. And all I can say is, I'm not trying to give anybody any shit. I'm not trying to, you know, tell certain expats, you better get your act together, you better do this, you better not do that. I mean, you know, all I can do is recommend things from what I've experienced. And I think I'm pretty entrenched in the society here. And if I was to go somewhere else, I would follow the same pattern. I would do the same thing. If I went and lived in Ecuador, I would learn, I mean, I know Spanish, but I would learn to speak Spanish much more fluently. Not speaking the language as being blind, dumb, and deaf. I like not knowing sometimes, though. Well, it's not me. I want to know, because if I have to, I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting there and women and men have said something about me, not necessarily bad, and so I knew what they were saying. I don't think so. I don't really think so. I don't think Spanish is the easiest because of the modifiers and the quantifiers and all that stuff. I think Thai is really easy. The only thing is that you need to listen to how the word is said, the phrase is said, so that you say it with the right tone. But it's very easy in many, many ways. So. Yeah, you know, sometimes I sit there and somebody's talking or speaking. They don't know I speak Thai. I understand exactly what they're saying. Sometimes they're not talking about me at all. You know, but it's nice to know what's being said in the conversation. I mean, I watch TV, and sometimes, you know, my wife will be watching a Thai show, and I watch it, and then I go, did she just say what I think she said? Yes. Oh, okay. You know, it's good to know it. Sometimes I don't want to know. I mean, you know, most of the time, I think it's important. And it's important that, for me, the way that I look at it is, if you can argue with them about something in their own language, it takes away some of their power. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean, it definitely does. You know, if you start calling them on stuff, I can't remember when I did that, but I've done it a couple of times. And I forget what it was, but it was on the song towel with that guy who put his hands on my gimbal that one time. I don't know if some of you guys remember that, but that was a while ago. And he put his hands on my gimbal, and I started speaking to him in Thai, and the next thing you know, he was like, ugh. Because I was about to crack that dude. And I didn't want to. I didn't want any problems, but he was a bit of an asshole. And once I started speaking Thai to him, he kind of backed down. I'm like, I asked him, like, who are you? Who are you? You're not the police, so shut up. Call the police if you want. Go ahead. You know, I know some Mandarin Chinese love trash talking strangers. That's what I mean. So, you know. Sometimes you just, you know, listen, the other day, I'll tell you something that happened to me. This didn't have anything to do with the language or anything like that, although I did speak. And I wish I hadn't, to be honest. I walk up, I'm walking down the street, and I go, and there's my little banana girl. I cross over, and as I'm crossing over, this motorcycle kind of stopped and started, and then started again. And he almost hit me. And I kind of put my hand out, like, oh, hey, like, you know, don't run into me. And he kind of pulled a little bit past me, and I was like, son of a bitch, you know, like under my breath. I'm like, wow. And he heard me. And he turned to me and he goes, what do you, like in Thai, he said, what do you say? And then I went, all I did was go, araya. Mi araya. Who araya? You know, and I just looked at him. But I wish I would have just looked at him and not said a word. And for a second he stopped, and then he thought, it's probably better I just keep going, so he just kept going. And I was glad, because I was like, man, I don't want that situation. If I had not said one word, if I didn't just go, you know, Mialaya, Huyangai, something like that, you know. But it was his fault. I mean, you know, he almost fucking ran me over. That's one thing. Sometimes when they drive, they're not exactly smart about how they drive. So, don't forget that. That's true. And sometimes they're driving in places that are very difficult to drive. People are always having accidents, like down in Phuket. They're always having accidents. There's always accidents on the windy roads and stuff like that. So, you got to take those things into consideration, and, you know. Anyway, listen, I'm going to give it thanks to the support of my... Thanks for the support from my supporters. Carnivore Chronicles, Carlos, Billy, Jim, Tokyo Sam, Mitch, Dowlow, Steven, John F., Andy Travels. Shout out to Andy Travels. I hope you're doing all right. Alan, Suwon, Tim, Mindy, Lee, Narve, David, Robert, Fire Dude, Florin, NCS Play Inc., Gills, Dale, Charles, Beeson, Tom, Chris, Botman, Victor, Bruce, Chuck, Tony7682, Henry, and Dimitri. There we go. Pedestrians are very low in the hierarchy of right of way. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you're walking across the street, you got the green light, and there's some car turning, and he doesn't want to stop. And it's like, hey. But you know what I always do, and I've done this for a long time. If I'm on the back of a motorbike and I know there's a car behind me, I always put my arm out, like to tell them, hey, stay back. Because sometimes the motorcycle driver might, you know, get a little bit too close for for comfort. But even walking across the street, you just, oh, thank you. You put your hand out, and if they don't slow down, then you stop. You don't go anywhere. You let them pass. You know, so anyway. Oops. All right, let me see here. I guess that's all we got now. I guess we have, this stream has run its course. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Very nice. I hope this gave you some insight into some of the common pitfalls that expats face here, or they fail to implement. If you're planning a move or you're already living here, just remember to learn from other people's mistakes. This can save you a lot of time, money, and stress. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on living abroad, and I will see you next time. Now, if you need some help, all you got to do is email me at anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com. And if you need a consult, we can work something out. But I guess I'll see you next time. So take care and keep living your best life, doing what you want to do, whether you're here or elsewhere. I may stream on Wednesday. I think I'm going to stream on Wednesday because I have Eyebrows Tom joining me in the stream on Wednesday. He's just back from the U.S. Eyebrows Tom, he's the gray-haired gentleman that has really thick eyebrows that kind of run together. It looks like one long caterpillar. So some people have decided to call him Eyebrows Tom. Can't make this shit up, man. All right, so I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok all day long. And until next time, Chok Di Leo Jerkin Mai. That is good luck, and I will see you later. Okay? Boom.